Escape the dungeon!
Hello everybody, this is Escape the Dungeon, the podcast where we ask you to join us as we explore the world beyond the world's oldest role-playing game. My name is Mike Cripps, and I will be your host and game master, and I am joined by three stellar players. Zach Brass.
Hello.
Dom Brass.
Hey.
And Nate Brass.
What's up, Internet? I am the one who was birthed as Nate.
Each season, we will be playing a different tabletop role-playing game. This season, we are playing Scum and Villainy, a Forged in the Dark game published by Evil Hat Productions. Guys, I've got an important question for you.
How important? You're not gonna ambush us again with, like, something ridiculous, are you?
Yeah, fucked up, right?
No, this is gonna sound like a pointed question, but I promise you this does not have a right or wrong answer. I just want you to be honest about how you feel, and I will not judge you for your answers. My question for the three of you is, do you guys consider yourselves to be well-rounded people?
I suppose that's a reasonable question.
No.
Dom, no, you say no. You know right away. Why is that?
I think well-rounded, I don't know, I think, like, I have specific strengths and weaknesses, and I don't know, I just...
Well-rounded doesn't mean perfectly round.
Yeah, okay, I don't know, man, I don't know, I went with no. I felt all right about it, but now that the pressure's on, I don't know.
Nate, do you think you're a well-rounded person?
Yeah, I'm perfectly round. I'm perfect.
Shut up.
Do you got sharp edges?
No, I'm perfect.
Zach, do you consider yourself a well-rounded person?
I mean, relatively, not too bad. Honestly.
Sure. I think we all try to be, for the most part. I think a lot of people don't like to think of themselves as not well-rounded, but it's hard to be well-rounded, right? Because there isn't enough time in the day to do everything you'd like to do, to experience everything that you'd like to experience, to even think everything that you'd like to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with
absolutely.
that.
And we've all got weak spots, we've all got blind spots, and there's just not enough time in the day to cover them all. But what if?
Oh my god.
What if there were? Because you see, boys, I have a genie lamp with me here today, and I'm gonna give it a couple nice little rubs.
Gross.
That's me squeaking the lamp as I rub it. And oh, what's this? The genie's come out. And he's offering me only one wish, because he's kind of a cheapskate. But for my one wish, I am giving each of us 1 extra hour each day.
Oh, wow.
And now my question for you is, what are you doing with that 1 hour that you have extra each day?
Getting a healthy amount of sleep.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first instinct. I'm like, I don't sleep enough.
Yeah, but think about all the other things you could do with that hour.
Yeah, I mean, I would finish my video games quicker.
Right? If you were gonna get a healthy amount of sleep, why didn't you get it now? Now I have an extra hour to do all the other stuff.
Because I needed to do all these things. Now I can do all those things with an actual clear brain for once. It seems like a no-brainer.
That's wild. No, that's crazy. I don't know. I'd learn another language.
No, you wouldn't.
I might. You don't know that.
He's never had 25 hours a day before. You don't know what he could do with that last hour.
It's a game changer, my guy.
If you were like already practicing and you were like, I'm not conversational yet, but I'm getting there.
I downloaded some apps, okay? Like, I'm thinking about it.
You downloaded some apps, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like level 15 in Duolingo in Spanish.
Oh, okay. Now you're kind of bragging.
On a solid record of like 365 days without opening it.
These preamble conversations always unnerve me because it feels like you're already GMing, Mike.
I know.
You know where this conversation is going, and I'm just here for the ride.
He's just setting us up.
No, he's just like, let me ask you guys something, and sometimes it's just going to be directly a question that can be interpreted as a, besmirchment on your character.
There's a gotcha behind it. Every question.
Yeah, exactly. Other times he's just getting there. He got to pull a few strings before you get to that point.
Mike, what would you do with that extra hour?
What would I do with that extra hour?
Masturbate.
I would love to read more. I already read a lot. Brag. I'm literate.
This fucking guy, right? He says read more.
Yeah, that you won't stop talking about it on our Discord. Motherfucker's like, I read this many books, and I wish I could read more, and here's my books that I all read this year. Yes, Mike, we know you read.
What can I say? I'm a smart guy. Read more, write more. I would love to watch more non-English language movies. That's always the kind of thing that is in the back of my mind of something I'd really like to do, but just never quite get around to doing.
So, like, sub-anime.
No, I said, like, good stuff.
I don't think you actually did.
Hey, look, I did just watch an anime movie last weekend, and it was...
Yeah, and we are all very proud of
it. It was fine.
I'll take it.
So there we have it, folks. I'm going to become more cultured and more intelligent than I already am. Dom, to his credit, gonna learn a language, and the other bums here are gonna sleep more. So, good for you guys, I guess.
Can't get more cultured than perfection, baby.
I value my sleep and health.
That's dumb for freaking nerds.
I don't know. I might sometimes cook more and occasionally go to the gym.
Oh, that would be great to actually cook every day. I'm so bad at it.
Guys, recording day is takeout day.
Well, you know what else I would like to do if I had an extra hour each day? That's play more games.
Listen to this podcast.
Yay! That's what all our listeners will get to do with their extra hour each day.
Your favorite podcast listening service.
Hey, good job on that hour, guys.
You guys ready to play?
Yeah.
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 Welcome to the Procyon sector. Having survived Blinding Blizzard and Barbarous Beast, Crash, Cypher, and Gorpheus have descended into the depths of Lithios, plunging into a dark, dangerous, ice-covered cavern filled with chanting in search of an arcane artifact for their allies. Instead, they found a stranger in the shadows after stepping into her snare. Be this figure friend or foe to the fine, fearless folks of the Phoenix 13. So, you guys are in the dark chasm on the ice planet Lithios. Your ears and your minds are filled with a strange chanting song, and you are searching for an artifact infused with the power of the Way for your allies, the Cult of the Seekers. But in your search, Cypher, you have tripped a trap that was in the darkness that you did not spot. And you have been yoinked up and you are now dangling from a snare upside down by 1 foot. And as Gorpheus and Crash and Lasaya look upon Cypher in this now precarious position, a woman steps out of the darkness. She points a rifle at the group of you. She looks to be about middle-aged. She's wearing like what looks like explorers, Arctic tundra clothing that has been, patched up and is barely holding itself together. She looks a little dirty and grimy, like she's probably spent a lot of time down here. And she's wearing these big, like, reflective goggles that cover, like, half her face, and you just see your own shocked images in the lens. And she's pointing the rifle at you, and she just says, "What are you doing down here in my chasm?"
Ah, your beauty has me head over heels. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Cypher, the greatest pilot in the galaxy. And what is your name, my beauty?
She sort of grimaces at you. You could tell that maybe she doesn't quite like being flirted with so aggressively. But she says, "Asha. Now I ask again, what are you doing down here?"
My Asha. Me and my compatriots are here in search of destiny.
What?
We have felt a pull from the way that has brought us here to save the universe. Are you our special guide?
What?
Don't worry, Orpheus, I got this.
She trails the rifle directly at Cypher, her finger on the trigger, and she looks to Crash, and says, "I don't like how that one talks. Who are you and what are you doing here?"
So Crash is cracking up at this point. He's not even holding a straight face. He's laughing a little bit. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my friend here. He's new to talking to people. Just my name is Crash Jordan. And I'm the captain of the Phoenix 13, and this is my crew. We're on a quest guided by the way, and it's taken us here to your cave. So, if you wouldn't mind, we're gonna do a little exploring, and we'll be out of your way in no time.
How is that different from what I said?
I mean, it's not really that different.
You weren't a creep about it.
Yeah, I was really waiting for that. Oh, friggin' him to put on the Riz there.
My gosh, the Riz.
Yeah, what are we?
I would like an action roll, either from Crash or Cypher, to sort of talk this lady Asha down from the sort of hostile position that she's in.
I'll take a sway check. What kind of position are we looking at?
We'll call this risky. I think I like standard for the effect on this.
I'll take a stress to aid that.
Okay, great. So, Cypher, mark 1 stress. How much stress is that putting you at?
8.
Ooh, buddy. Yeah, so it is 1 stress to aid. And that will give Crash a bonus die.
All right, so we got a 5.
A 5. That's great. You do it, but there's a consequence. I think what happens here is, like, as this commotion is happening and you sort of feel your words bouncing off of the cavern walls, And there's like an echoing effect in here, and maybe even in this commotion you're all speaking a little louder than you really intend to try and diffuse the situation. And so the woman, she lowers her gun and she like looks at all you again real quick before she nods, and she hits like a button that's on her hip, and it releases the snare that Cypher is in, and Cypher, you just fall down to the ground and crash. But I am going to tick off one segment of the clock I started last episode, which is just the mystery, the question mark awareness. And that is going to put you up to 2 out of 8 segments on that clock. And as she releases Cypher, she pushes up her goggles, and you can see her face now for the first time, and the flickering light of the glow sticks that you guys have. And she looks tired. She looks weathered, and she looks like she's been living a particularly hard life for a particularly long time. And she throws her rifle over her back. I get the feeling that the group of you don't really know the mess that you're in. We better get to safety before they find out we're here.
Yes, of course.
Oh, wow, you're way more normal than I thought you would be. I figured,
Kind of jump into conclusions there. Okay, just living in a cavern doesn't make you crazy.
No, being on this planet seems to make you crazy.
Cypher looks pointedly at Gorpheus.
Okay. Hey, I think it's a lovely planet, for the record. Apart from the snow monsters and the ice storms.
We don't call them crazy anymore, Cypher. It's PTSD.
Thank you. Is she kind of leading the way then?
Yeah, so she is going to start leading you back the way you came. And she just says, follow me. And she finds like a small divot sort of in the ice wall, and she starts like squeezing herself through that.
Crash, do you want to go first, maybe?
All right. Crash will try and follow.
Yeah, so Crash, you start squeezing through this gap in the wall after her, and you have to move like pretty slowly in order to maneuver yourself. But
yeah, like a loading screen in a AAA video game nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
World is rendering.
The conversation continues to like convince you that it's not a loading screen, even though it is.
Okay.
It's a really long hallway.
And I think I'll probably have, assuming Crash is going through fine, have Lasaya go. And then the question is, the bulkiness. I mean, how does Cypher look like he's gonna go? I feel like he might be worse off than me because
I've definitely been imagining Gorpheus as like the thickest of you. Maybe that's not the case, but that's my mental image.
I agree. I think Cypher is pretty lanky. Pretty standard robot vibes.
Okay, in that case, Cypher should be okay. I just didn't know what kind of robot I pictured him as.
I guess I always pictured you as like tall and like, strong, but like, thin strong.
No, yeah, I get that for Cypher. Like, I genuinely wasn't sure about Cypher. So in that case, then Cypher, and then probably Gorpheus is going to try to squeeze his way through.
I think Cypher will go last. He'll like help push Gorpheus in case he gets stuck.
Oh, there you go.
Shoot little oil lubricant at him.
Yeah.
Plus, Gorpheus has been crazy since entering this planet. I don't think Cypher trusts Gorpheus as the rear guard right now.
Oh my god.
So Gorpheus, you definitely get like stuck part of the way through, but with Cypher behind you, is able to use his Urbot strength to, basically ram into you a couple times and knock you loose, and you're able to move through without any kind of roll.
Thanks, Cypher.
Just hold still. Let me oil you up a little bit.
No, that one irritates my skin.
And eventually the group of you get led into a sort of a wide circular cavern in the middle of the wall here that is like closed off. It's like a secret room in the walls of ice, basically. And this woman, Asha, she walks to the far end of this room, this cave, and you see that there's like a light that's on the ground, and she turns it on, and it brightly illuminates everything in here. And you can see that the walls are completely covered in writing from floor to ceiling. And it is just absolute gibberish. Like, it is stuff. There's a phrase on the wall that just says, "My muffin has too much cinnamon." There's another that says, like, "The peacocks are watching." There's another that says,
Birds aren't real.
"Orange was never my favorite color."
Well, that one resonates.
I agree.
It's just these inane non sequitur sentences that cover every inch of this place you now find yourself in.
Oh, this cave is so nice.
I love what you've done with the place.
What does it look like it was written in?
I think you know the answer to that.
Oh, fuck, that actually makes sense, because if it was blood, it would be brown, too. Gross.
Anyway, is Lasiah with us again?
Yes.
So, which way's this force pulling us, guys? Why don't we go there?
Well, we're trying to hide for safety.
Oh yeah, what's this thing that's watching us? You want to tell us?
This woman, Asha, she turns back around to you and she says, "Just like I suspected. You don't know what's down here, do you?"
No, we're in search of an artifact, but, we just kind of started hearing chanting, and we're following that.
In search of an artifact, hearing chanting, aren't we all? And she sort of like looks off behind you back into that thin entryway that you all squeezed through. And she's like staring into that, almost as if to like check that nothing is following you. And then she turns her attention back to you.
Do I still hear the singing?
It's pretty muffled, but you can hear it like way off in the distance at this point.
Did she take us further from it?
Yes, yeah, further from it. Everyone else, it's still like hearing it in your mind relatively loudly.
So, what do you know about this chanting?
It's the agony.
The
Agony?
agony.
That's not good.
You've never heard the stories, have you?
Well, we're not really from around here.
That's what they call themselves. The agony. A group of maniacs, cultists. They do horrible things to their own bodies in exchange for the powers of the way. Rituals and experiments. They have a chantry down here. That's where what we're all hearing is coming from.
Shit.
Interesting. Well, why don't we... Oh, well, how many of them are there?
Countless.
Countless.
That's a lot.
I thought like 15 or like countless.
Countless.
How high can you count?
Yeah, no, genuinely. Like hundreds, thousands, millions, literally countless.
Do you know what hundreds are?
Like actually countless. Like that's not hyperbole.
What's the biggest number you know?
Countless. A horde. An army. Whatever term you would like to use.
Shit.
Us Urbots like to use the term a circuit.
A circuit.
No, that's gonna confuse the rest of us. Let's stick with an army.
So, a circuit of cultists. Okay, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. That's not... No, it doesn't.
Makes sense to me.
Alright, whatever. For the sake of inclusion...
What are we gonna do about this circuit of cultists?
Shit, I don't think we can take on a circuit, guys. Like, you know, a couple pirate ships? Okay, maybe. Especially because we have pirate ships to fight the other pirate ships with. But, like, countless? That's a lot of guys.
Well, they're underground, so what if we just, like, bring our ship over here and blow them up?
I don't love that.
Well, we might blow up that artifact thing, too. What if we do the pirate thing again, guys? We just did the pirate thing. We could dress up as cultists and infiltrate them.
We are really good at that. It worked really well last time, so... I mean, I don't think there's a way it could go wrong.
Are you able to disguise yourself by performing experiments that give you extra eyes and extra limbs and razor-sharp teeth?
No, but that sounds awesome.
Well, I think we can make disguises. Like, we could definitely give Cypher an extra eye. He's already a robot. And they might just think he already is an experiment.
Yeah, like, I'm kind of freaky looking. We could do stuff with Cypher. Do you think that could be convincing? Does it count with Urbots? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been hearing the song in my head, so I don't know if they have any Urbots. It doesn't sound like it. I'm not hearing, like, any of those waves.
Well, we could just pretend that you're our Urbot. Obviously, we'll know that you're not, because I know you're not into that, but we can just pretend.
Yeah, that's messed up.
You are underestimating how dire these circumstances are. The agony are barely people, and I mean that literally. They have changed themselves. They have lost their humanity. They cannot be reasoned with or deceived.
Okay, we understand that. Now, Miss Asha, what do you think they have this artifact that we're looking for? The key to the last jump gate? Is that a thing you know about?
Yeah, have you heard anything about this artifact? It sounded like you knew people who'd looked for it.
I know that within the walls of their chantry, they hide a great deal of treasure of the way. I can hear it. I can hear it speaking to me at night when I try to sleep, when I close my eyes. I hear a message I don't understand, and she starts, like, shaking. I try to translate it. I try to understand what this message might be, the first message.
Well, what is the message?
She can't translate it. It's like...
the untranslated version.
Melak naku abatrangarizo rangath.
I'd like to record that and do a Google search, space Google search.
You have no reception.
no reception, dude.
No bars.
Shit. This planet sucks. I don't get any special magic powers on the special magic planet. We have to kill one of my favorite... That was actually pretty cool. But, man, that planet sucks, guys. Now I have to fight a cult. A full circuit?
Yeah, I don't think we can take on a circuit, guys.
It seems like a zombie circuit. I think, if there's any kind of circuit of beings we could take out, it's probably either, mindless robots or mindless cultist zombie things. And they sound like that, it sounds like if it came down to it, we could take out at least like half a circuit.
But they're mindless cultist zombies who have magic powers. We have to remember this.
Yeah, they might have some, like, telepathy, hive mind thing going on. It could be less mindless, more the mind is everyone.
Maybe.
That's where it's going.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, you're the way expert. What are you feeling down here? What are your vibe senses tingling at?
You are the way expert.
Vibe check.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I have not been super focused on the vibe, which is normally my thing. I really just was, like, mission-oriented, herd chanting. I'm like, yep, this has gotta be it.
No, I get it. You were totally mission-oriented, I say, elbowing you and pointing and winking towards Lasaya.
Lasaya speaks up and she says, the vibe is that we are close. The agony, this chantry, it must be what has the artifact that we seek. We must push forward. We must defeat these horrible savage cultists, and we must reclaim the artifact so we can uncover the mysteries of the universe, Scorpius.
Look, babe, I got a question for you. Have you ever fought any zombie hordes?
Have you?
Horde is a strong term, but we did have an incident the one time.
I'd call 26 like a horde.
I mean, it was like 4 guys.
It was more of a gaggle of zombies.
It was a gaggle. They weren't cults either, so it was different. But, no, we haven't, and that's why we want to be very, very careful. We have to, obviously the plan is to get in somehow and get the artifact. I don't know if we really want to be taking on a full army of guys. So, yeah, I mean, I just think we have to, think about how we're approaching this. We can't just walk in there, right?
Yeah, this is a whole circuit of zombie cultists. As we already discussed, that's a circuit of magic. We have to... And apparently disguises aren't going to work, according to Asha here, so... Well, that's like our main thing out. Disguises. That's what we do for everything. We throw a disguise on it.
It's a really good strategy. It usually works. Crazy idea. What if we sneak? Follow the force? The way?
The thing is, the sneaking... we have to sneak. Right? Obviously, that's what we're gonna try to do. I'm just trying to think, what's the backup plan when that definitely doesn't work?
Blow up the cavern we're in so they can't follow us.
That's a good plan C, maybe D plan, but let's have some other steps.
Definitely
here.
a thought. But, honestly, I feel like our vibe is to, kind of just, our talent as a crew is to analyze the situation in the moment and make the best decision to come out on top.
Analyzing isn't what I'd normally call it, but that definitely seems to be our specialty. I guess we could just... my big thing is I keep running into, what if they have, psychic powers so they're aware of our presence? Because we can hear them. Do they know where we're at?
That is a concern.
What if we use the fresh scent of blood to draw in a bunch of wonk nickels? And we have a war of wonk nickels versus cultists. And then we jump in at the end and snipe out the winners.
I like where your head's at.
I mean, I love it. I just don't think it's gonna work.
Don't think there's enough womp nickels in this area to attract a war of them to fight an entire circuit of cultists.
Yeah, but can you imagine? I mean, that'd be sick.
be the coolest thing we've ever seen. And it would really be exactly what my documentary needs to, like, put it over the edge.
I mean, it would definitely get eyes on it. I don't know if I want to be putting out that kind of content, though. I mean, you want to respect these creatures.
Why wouldn't you want to put that out?
Asha has, like, started writing more nonsense sentences on the walls while you guys are discussing this. But she stops and she turns around and she looks at you very gravely and she says, "If you bring those creatures here, you'll be giving the agony exactly what they want. There's nothing they love more than taking a beast with a connection to the way, like the Wonk Nichols, tearing it apart, and using its flesh, its bones, its teeth for their own rituals, and to enhance their own mutations."
That does sound super evil.
Then she goes back to writing nonsense on the walls.
You spelled orangutan wrong.
Cypher's gonna take out a piece of chalk and write on the walls, "I like to go fast."
She slaps your hand away. "This is my wall. Get your own wall."
It just looked really fun, like getting your thoughts out there.
Maybe we should make a graffiti wall on the ship.
Do we really want to be a graffiti wall ship? Anyway.
No, you're right.
Using the information that he knows, that Cypher knows about Womp Nichols, and what I know about the Force, or the Way, not the Way.
Whoa.
The Way.
You want to take that again?
Absolutely.
No.
So using the Way, anyway, with our knowledge together, the Womp Nickel, is it that mutation? I felt like that chanting, I think, reacted to the creature.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like puppeting it, weren't they? Like, it wasn't like the monster mouth in the back. That's not normal Womp Nickel behavior, is it?
No, that was definitely not normal Wonk Nickel behavior. I think, Gorpheus, you would feel pretty confident that the chanting here, which it seems like such a potent demonstration and manipulation of the Way, is definitely had some sort of effect on the creature. Whether it was like direct puppeting, like you said, or not, who knows? But yeah, you think that was a reaction to what you've been hearing, what you've been feeling.
Shit. Okay. So,
You mean Womp Knuckles aren't just like that? I thought they were kind of like, gremlins, except instead of water and multiplying, it was flesh and mouths.
No, they are usually a much more graceful creature.
Oh, that does explain it. I was kind of judging you a little bit there, Cypher.
But that's what makes this documentary so fascinating. These have been experimented on, and so for them to go against their, evil masters, it's a great climactic finish, and then we just blow up the rest of the cultists. Classic Phoenix 13.
It seems like a really good way for the environmentalists to come after us.
yeah, that's kind of what I was going, just from like the standpoint of your documentary before. Like, my concern, abuse these violations of like animal rights.
You guys are the ones that decided to attack the Wonk Nickel first, okay? Did I finish the job and completely eviscerate that thing? Yes, I did, because I am a team player. But don't go judging me now, because
Whoa, we're
when
not judging
I was
you.
trying to film a beautiful creature, you guys shot and stabbed at it. I'm just trying to work with the material I have and get to a satisfying conclusion.
I get it. I really want to make this documentary. I'm just saying we have to consider the ramifications of your releasing it. And I don't think it's going to be consistent with your messaging and your beliefs. But I think we should probably put that on the back burner because we're not doing the Womp Nickel plan, because it would be super cool, but it would definitely blow up in our face. They'd like possess them or whatever, and we'd get murdered. It's not a good idea. I do love it. We're not doing it. Crash, what's the plan?
I mean, I figured we go and sneak down there and see what's up. I mean, the only way there is there.
If you are intent on going down to the chantry, I can lead you most of the way there. Close enough that the agony shouldn't notice us if we're careful. From there on, you're on your own. And you should know that it's a suicide mission.
That's our favorite kind.
I can't say it's not, but like I'm not stoked about this, guys.
This is your mission, man. If you
I
want,
know, but
we can
I
go
picked
and
a
do
really
the other thing.
hard mission.
I mean, the other thing pays better than this.
Look,
We can
we're
go
doing
back if
this.
you want and
No, we're
do
doing
the other
it.
thing.
I just we could die. One of us could die.
You know how much I like embarrassing that other guy, who's so beneath us, I forget his name.
We can't turn back.
I mean, yeah, we can't turn back.
That's right. Gorpheus, we've got to do this in the name of love.
And, that's scientific discovery.
And love.
We're definitely going to discover something. Well, hopefully. You are.
You guys are gross.
Yeah, right? So much.
What a gross group of weirdos.
I mean, it's a lot.
Did you expect Crash not to be weird and gross?
No, that's a fair point. This is consistent. So I guess we'll take her up on her offer, and I don't know if anyone has any gambits. I probably have some nonsense ideas, but nothing super practical is coming to mind other than let's try to sneak in and steal it.
Let's do it.
Well, at least sneak in and see what's up. I mean, we don't even know what anything is or looks like or anything. We're going in completely blind. What option is there other than...
Yeah, but it might be a collective, and I'm really worried if it is.
Oh, a collective. Oh, okay. Well, it's fine. We could just run away if we have to, and shit happens. But we'll probably bumble our way to success, hopefully, if the dice gods are nice.
I mean, that's the plan, right?
We're just going to roll 6 sixes in a row again, just to throw Mike's plans all off.
Yeah, I think that's the best idea. If everyone could just roll only 6s, that would be perfect, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, from now on, that's your job. Practice rolling 6s. Between sessions, everybody, at least 5 rolls a day.
Seriously. Don't fuck up, guys. No exceptions.
And if you fucking don't get at least 4 6s in that time, you gotta roll again.
Practice makes perfect. I think that's cheating.
Just roll it multiple times. No, that was a practice rule. Shut up.
Yeah, so if you are intent on moving forward, Asha leads you out of this like strange base camp that she has set up, leaving the gibberish walls behind, leads you back out into the larger chasm.
Before we get too far, sorry, I keep forgetting to ask Asha stuff. I just wanted to quickly ask her how she wound up here and how long she's been here.
Oh, now you want to know? Now
Yeah.
you want to know about me?
I know. Well, I did want to know about you the whole time. We just
you finished arguing about your documentary, and now you want to interact with the NPC.
It's a fair point. We just got really into it.
I have a really interesting backstory.
What's your backstory?
Oh, now I don't know if I want to tell you.
I totally get it.
You deserve this, Asha. You were rude right from the get-go.
You did capture him. Well, to be fair, though, you were just immediately flirting with her. I get it. Sometimes it makes me uncomfortable, too, when people just come at you like that.
Well, everyone on this planet has gone crazy, so I was like, what if I pull out something crazy? Maybe she likes to fuck robots. I don't know.
Okay. This consistent. He has been on about the craziness, but with that said, we're super thankful for everything, Asha, and it would be just super cool if you could give us a little taste of your backstory, maybe how you ended up here, what your relationship with these guys is.
I came to Lathios a long time ago. I considered myself an explorer, an adventurer, a thrill seeker. I wanted to climb the mountains, explore the depths, do things that no one had ever done before.
How long ago?
What year is it?
Shit.
What year is it, GM?
A long, long time ago.
A circuit ago?
A circuit ago.
Okay.
And when I was out here, when I first came down here, I heard the most beautiful sound I had ever heard before, and I knew it was a message. A message for me, a message as old as time. The first message.
That's the most beautiful sound you've heard before. That noise that you made before.
Yes. And ever since I've heard it, I just can't bring myself to leave. I need to understand what it is. I need to understand what it means.
I think I gotta introduce you to progressive rock.
What the message holds. I can tell that it's coming from the chantry. Sometimes the chanting gets so loud, it's hard for me to hear the message underneath, but it's always still there. There must be something within that is sending that message to me. And she dramatically turns to look at you. If you really think that you can get in there and find what you seek and make it out alive.
Well, you said you fancied yourself as an adventurer. Were you a good adventurer?
I was a mountain climber. I was
So no.
depth delver.
Alright, well that's fine then. Yeah, I'm sure it will be fine.
If you really think you can make it into the chantry, find the artifact you seek and make it out alive. Well, if you can find another artifact, if you can find the one that holds the first message, everything I have can be yours. It is the only thing I care about, is the only thing I dream of when I sleep.
Sure.
What do you have?
A lifetime ago, before I heard the message, I was a lover of the governor. He treated me well. He gave me lavish gifts. Much of what he gave me is still sitting in accounts accruing interest. Ironically, I've had no interest in that for a long time.
Shut up. God damn it.
But if you can find the first message, the source of the first message, everything I have, everything that is still in my name, can be yours.
I mean, yeah, if we find it, that seems like a good deal.
We'll definitely put it on our little quest list.
Yeah, its priorities don't die.
She nods solemnly. I sincerely hope you don't die.
Thanks.
Oh, don't worry. After we're done, there'll probably be at least a couple dozen less cultists.
And so Asha leads you through the chasm, and the further you get into it, the louder the chanting is for you, Cypher. You're clearly getting close to the chantry, the source of this all. And eventually, in the distance, you can see what looks like a large palace made entirely of ice sitting at the bottom of this ravine. Asha points to it and says, "There they are. The Chantry of the Agony."
Okay, any major landmarks or places that look good for sneaking? Also, do we see any combatants?
You don't, you're quite a distance away still. This structure seems pretty massive. So even in like how dark it is down here, you can see it from a distance. You don't see any movement outside of it, but you might just be too far away for that.
Okay, do we want to just keep going closer, Captain?
Yeah, I think, let's just check it out.
This is as close as I go. If you had any wisdom at all, this would be as close as you go. And Lasaya steps forward.
Nice.
Well, we thank you for everything, and we'll see you later. Maybe. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Don't die, and most of us promise not to die.
Yeah, at least 2 of us will be back.
For sure, 2 of us, at least.
She puts a firm hand on Crash's shoulder, gives it like a friendly squeeze, and she disappears back in the darkness the way she led you.
I didn't get a squeeze, I just feel like I asked for the backstory and all that, but whatever.
We just had a connection. 2 kindred souls.
She seemed a little racist to me. Space racist.
Okay, Cypher, she might have been racist. I really don't know. But, you gotta not lean on that, my guy.
I'm just saying she, only talked to the captain. He didn't introduce himself as the captain. She was just like, I'm gonna talk to the one that looks like me. It was, it was a little rude.
Oh, fair enough. Anyway, let's start the sneaking.
So the 3 of you and Lasaya begin to sneak towards the Chantry Palace. And you move slowly and carefully through the chasm to get to it. And when you get closer, you realize that there are intricate carvings on the side of it. It's beautiful in a way. It looks like... it looks like a Renaissance church, right? That is the level of detail and artistry that has gone into this thing, which, might not line up with the description of the agony that Asha gave you. But the chanting also gets louder. And I think the feeling of it changes. Where suddenly it doesn't just sound like religious, revelry and singing and chanting. You can feel a certain maliciousness in the strange noises that you hear that only gets amplified the closer you get. And before you know it, you are standing in front of a huge set of double doors carved out of the ice, and the doors are ajar, and you see a light coming out from the gap between the doors, inviting you to step in. And here is a fun little tidbit about Scum and Villainy, as I've been revealing some more, behind the scene things as we get further into this. Every planet in the Procyon sector has a write-up, and each planet has a unique gameplay aspect to it, a unique rule that takes effect on that planet. And the planets that you guys have been on so far, the planets that you've done jobs on so far, it just hasn't come up. Some of them are things like you get more downtime, or you get like
which one
a
is
bonus. You get a bonus on like a certain kind of role in a certain situation. It's stuff like that. But Lithios has a pretty fun and interesting, unique rule. When you explore the ice palaces of Lithios, you must make a resolve resist if you don't want to heed the echoes urging you to wander into the frozen wastes alone.
Oh, goddamn. This is terrible. You said fun.
Fun for me. So I need all of you to make a resolve roll.
Oh, I'm not good at resolve.
I got a 4.
I got a 2 6s. I got a crit.
Oh, look at you. I got a 5. Ooh.
Let's fucking go. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Okay, so we got a crit, a 5, and a 4. All of those pretty good. One of them very good. So, Gorpheus, as you stand at the precipice of the chantry, and you realize that there is maliciousness in this song that you have been hearing for hours now, your head suddenly clears. You snap out of it. You snap out of the trance that you have been in. And you can go ahead and remove that first level harm of distracted. You are no longer distracted. Crash and Cypher, you are not quite so lucky. You are able to resist the temptation to just wander off. But Crash, you are not going to remove that distracted harm. Cypher, you don't have that harm, so the consequence for you is gonna be that Lysia steps forward. Your favorite NPC, Lysia, steps forward, clearly entranced by the noises, and she is reaching out to push open this door.
I grab her hand.
I need you to make an action roll.
I could scrap, but I don't want to hurt her. I'm scared, guys.
Just tackle her. Tackle her.
I'm gonna scrap. I don't want to hurt her.
Punch her.
I'm not gonna punch her. I'm just grabbing her hand.
Punch her in the face.
What's my position here?
We'll call this risky great. But I have a devil's bargain for you, Dom.
Let's go.
One of the classic devil's bargains in Scum and Villainy, one that the book recommends you use, is an NPC gets upset with you. And so Lysia will see this as a hindrance to her goal. She's going to think that this is an act showing that you do not have the same conviction that she does. And as a group, you will not lose status with the Cult of the Seekers, but your personal relationship with Lysia will be harmed somewhat.
So the thing is, the whole point of grabbing her is to get her to not do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess I could accidentally kill her or something. That would suck.
You're not gonna accidentally kill her. I'll just let you know. I'm not gonna be that mean on this.
You don't know that. I'm using scrap, okay? I'm a risk taker here.
You pull out your magic stone sword and stab at her to stop her from moving.
I decapitate Lysia.
All right, I rolled. I got a 6. Let's fucking go.
A 6. Okay, and you did not accept the bargain. So you were able to grab Lysia's hand before she makes contact with the chantry door and stop her. And she looks at you, she turns to look, and for a second you're worried that offense might be there, that doubt in your conviction might be there. But then she shakes her head and you realize that she too has snapped out of this trance that she was in.
Oh, yes.
And she says, "Oh, Gorpheus, the way. You can feel it here, can't you?"
Yes. And we have to keep our guards up.
"I've never felt it so frightening like this before."
Yes, it's not something I'd recommend. When it pulls us, are we being pulled into the building, or are we pulled... Because she was pushing the door open.
Yeah, you felt like it was trying to pull you into the building. But now that you have like snapped out of this mystic distraction that you were feeling, you can feel that the source, the origin of this chanting is in this chantry, is in this building, but you no longer feel the like physical pulling towards you.
We're not just gonna walk in there and say, "Hey."
That effect has subsided.
Does it look like there's any windows, any sewage or something? I don't know.
Yeah, there are like beautiful stained glass windows.
Okay, now that everyone's stopped being crazy, I'd like to send my Urbot drone to do some recon.
Yeah, and I think the gap that is in the door would be just big enough for your drone to go through if that's how you wanted to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Go high up and just try to sneak in through like the top of the door.
For sure. So go ahead, give me an action roll on this.
You got a devil's bargain for me?
You will lose status with the agony, which you will probably already do for doing a job against them. This would be on top of what you would normally lose.
I'll take it.
Yeah, so you'll go from 0 to likely -2 status with them after this job.
I'll take it.
Cool. Devil's bargain. Bam. Extra die.
What is my position?
What skill are you using?
Skulk.
Skulk. I feel like we don't get enough skulk rolls on this show. Yeah. I'm actually considering controlled for you right now. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a controlled skulk. Controlled standard skulk.
Love it. Anyone want to assist me? How many gambits do we have?
You just gained one on Dom's scrap roll because you got a 6 on a risky roll. So you have at least one. And if you guys haven't been tracking them well, then I'm going to say you have one.
I will use it. That's a 4.
That was a 4. On a controlled 4, you hesitate. So you realize that if you progress with your drone like further, you might risk it being noticed. So you can either withdraw without a consequence and just try something else other than skulk, or you can proceed with a minor complication, your choice.
I'm gonna go pull out my gamepad and try to pilot.
Yeah, I think that makes a ton of sense. So you realize that the AI on the drone is maybe not super subtle right now and might start just like bumping into things like a Roomba. And so you take your manual controls out and you start to helmet yourself.
It just looks like a switch.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a controlled standard helm roll for me then.
That is a 5.
So a 5 is the same result. So again, you can either maybe realize that your piloting isn't going to be as subtle as you possibly could and try a third skill, or you can roll with it and get a minor complication.
Let's roll with it.
So you start piloting your drone through the chantry, and you see that the hall immediately beyond the doors that the group of you are standing in front of, it is this room made of ice. There is, and I mean, it looks like a church, right? It looks like a very old church, and you see that there's an altar at the end of the hall. There are pews, and sitting in the pews, you see dozens of these people, and they are horrible to look at. They are, at first glance, you think they might be Xenos, but then you realize they're not, that these are humans, but they have modified their bodies so much in such horrific ways. People's limbs are bending in ways that they should not. People have like growths and bone spurts and these tumors that are just protruding from their bodies. People are too tall, people are too short. People's coloration is just entirely unnatural. There are people that look like they have scales or feathers that have been grafted onto them. And you see that beyond the dozens that are sitting in these pews, there are more that are like hanging off the walls, that are hanging from the rafters, from the ceilings in this place. That there truly are countless of these horrific individuals. And that they are hooting and hollering, they are chanting, they are screaming in revelation and joy. And it all seems to be directed at one figure who is standing at the altar at the end of the hall. And you see that this figure, their limbs are far too long for their body, bending at multiple joints that they shouldn't have. Their neck is far longer than a human's neck should be, holding a head that has also seemingly been elongated, almost as if there is too much brain matter in the skull for the skull to contain. And you see, like, from lesions in the head, gray matter protruding. And this figure is chanting. They are leading the chant. They are speaking words that you cannot possibly understand, but in a cadence that you can at least emotionally connect to. This is a preacher at the pulpit, preaching the best they possibly can to their congregation, and their congregation is eating every word of it. You see this scene through the drone, and the drone is making just a slight whirring noise. Not very loud, not loud at all compared to the noise coming from within the chantry. But it's just loud enough that a few of these figures are starting to hear it, starting to notice it, looking around, trying to figure out what this new noise might be. And so I'm going to tick off the third of 8 segments on this clock, which I have renamed Agony Awareness, now that you are aware of the force you are up against. How are you guys feeling?
Dude, gross. Man, these guys are wild.
Yeah, I think the whole team's just like crowding, looking at this screen, like,
Yeah.
Whoa. They look gnarly, guys.
Yeah, that does not look like healthy at all. This is so bad.
Do you feel like a pull to look like that from the way? Like, do
No,
you feel like
that no. I get where they're coming from.
Gorpheus, get out of the way. I can't see. Your tentacles are in the front of the screen.
Is anyone else getting like really? We'd be doing these guys a favor if we just blew this whole place up. Like this is not healthy.
That's what I was saying, but you guys want to steal the artifact first.
Well, yeah, I mean we got to steal the artifact, but
I mean, we are on a job, and you know how I feel about completing our jobs. It's the third priority behind staying alive and keeping the ship intact.
wait. Keeping the ship intact is a priority?
It is now.
I thought it was like 5th on the list.
Yeah, well, once we got to 13, it got bumped up. We cannot afford another ship.
I mean, that's true.
Is that why you were sending me memos about us not having insurance anymore?
Yes, we can't afford it. Not the interdimensional stuff.
Oh, wait, we don't have insurance?
Do you know how much they charge?
What if we get pulled over?
Oh, we never get pulled over. Look at us. We're a tow truck.
So there's a bunch of creepy things on the ceiling and everywhere else.
Do you sense this artifact at all? Like, can you sense the artifact, or are you just sensing the cult?
Yeah, can I try to use my way powers to try to sense around for particularly strong forces, trying to not interact with the agony nonsense too much?
Yeah, to try and like more pinpoint the source now that you're close to it. That will require an action roll.
Yeah, I'll make it a tune check. Just controlled.
Yeah, for you guys are undetected for now, and you have not fully engaged with the threat. So I'm cool with controlled for now. I do have a devil's bargain for you, and it's a simple one. I will just tick off one more segment of the awareness clock to bring you up to 4 out of 8. As you using the way, triggers some sort of reaction from some sort of notice from these way using cultists.
No, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not gonna use it. I think I'll be okay.
Okay.
Coward.
I got 2 6s again.
That's a crit.
That is a critical. You do it with increased effect. No consequence, and that bumps up to a great effect. As I think Lysia joins you hand in hand, Gorpheus. Hand in hand in hand. As you begin to meditate outside of the chantry. And you begin to have a vision not unlike the one that brought you here in the first place. You see the chantry clearly. You feel a projection of yourself, your consciousness, going through the door into the room with all these horrible cultists, with this strange, elongated figure leading the sermon. And you sort of just glide past them all, and nobody notices a thing. And you glide past the preacher, and he doesn't notice a thing. And you phase through the wall at the end of this chamber, which you see has a door made of ice leading further into the building. And you phase through that, and you go into what you realize is a vault. A vault full of artifacts that you can feel the way coming off of. But not just that. You also see that there are cages. Cages full of strange creatures. There's a wonk nickel in a cage. There's other beasts, other strange alien creatures that you can feel a connection to the way through that are in these cages as well. There's one that looks like an armadillo mixed with a saber-toothed tiger. There's one that looks like a starfish, but each tentacle has the head of a toucan.
Guys, I know we're not supposed to like chimera doctors, but they're so cool.
And you see that these beasts have been mutilated but kept alive.
So I'm just kind of astral projecting right now, right?
Yes, you and Lasaya both.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Lasaya, you see it?
I see it, Gorpheus. I see it and I can feel it. Have you ever felt anything like this before? And the Crash and Cypher, you can see Lasaya begins to like weep in her physical form as she's doing this.
Okay, so basically we got to figure out how to get back here. Can I see any other exits? And also, is there a control pad? Sorry, I really wanted to know. Is there like any kind of control mechanism that looks like it's connected to the prison?
No, these look like old-fashioned, like padlocked cages.
Whew, okay. I mean, simple enough, right?
And
fine.
the only entrance you see is that door that leads directly to the chantry hall that all those people are in.
Okay, so there's no other exits, no like sewage piping or anything that.
No, it doesn't seem like the stuff that's here is even as advanced as sewage pipes. This is like remarkably old looking.
Is this a room in the middle of the building, or is it against an outside wall?
Oh, it's in the middle of the building. Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
I mean, it would be connected to a outside wall. Yeah. It is a small room that is up against like one wall of the chantry, but then there is more of the building beyond it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck. Am I missing anything? I've never astral projected before. This is a lot of pressure.
This is new for me too, but it's so wonderful, Gorpheus.
Yes, it's amazing. This is great. Like, honestly, I'm going to brag a lot to the guys. They're going to be so jealous. You have no idea. This is wild.
Cypher, over your comms system, you're just hearing staticky like,
Hey, what's going on? Where's Lasaya?
like your bra Rahim is starting to butt in over the comms.
Things are too quiet.
Oh, hey, Yor, what's up?
What's Lasaya doing? Is Lasaya okay?
Well, her and Gorpheus have entered some kind of wave flow state.
What?
It looks like a lot like when I go on the internet. I think they're kind of out of body right now. Yeah, I think Gorpheus is being really rude.
You just hear your bra Rahim through like the static of the bad connection of the comms, just getting so mad.
Hey, your bra, there's some beer in the midi fridge if you need to cool off.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think I go back to my body and then I just zonk in. I'm like, hey, guys. And I start telling them everything I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are we thinking of attacking this situation? So you said the only way in is through a doorway where the entire circuit of cultists is.
We could go through the walls.
Yeah, you think you could cut like a hole through the wall with your magic rocks, Gorpheus?
Ooh. I mean, yeah, I could definitely try to do that. I've cut holes through walls before. And it's just ice, right?
Yeah, your rocks are probably harder than ice, you would assume, yeah?
I mean, they definitely should be. Otherwise, I need to get new rocks. So if we can just try to isolate the position that we saw and just as quietly as possible cut a teeny tiny hole in the wall and just sneak on in, grab this stuff. And, worst case scenario, honestly, they didn't look like they had lasers or anything, so this could be okay.
Yeah, no, I think, honestly, things seem to be working out. You guys got a ton of information, and we practically know what we're going into for once. I mean, we didn't even know the pirates.
Yeah. So we're gonna basically try to sneak around the building and see if we can isolate the easiest position to cut into the wall as close as possible. Unless that's just impossible to cut into that hallway, I guess.
Yeah. So you go around the side of the chantry to where you believe this vault is on the other side. And it looks like very thick, very old ice. But you're gonna try and bust through it. You're gonna try and use your special sword, Gorpheus?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me an action roll.
I'm gonna scrap for this.
Okay. I'm going to make this risky instead of controlled now that you are trying to, like, physically enter the building. I do think your rocks are harder than the ice, though it's still going to be pretty difficult. I think I'll give you standard effect.
Devil's bargain?
It'll be the same thing, an extra tick on the awareness clock.
I'll do it this time. Boom.
Okay.
Dude, I'm so good at this game. I rolled a 6. Let's go.
You do it without consequence, though it does make some noise. And the awareness clock for the agony goes from 3 to 4 pips out of 8. But you are able to hack through the wall and create an opening. And you see the vault in front of you. You see artifacts splayed out on the ground, on tables, in display cases. And you see cages upon cages filled with horrible beasts. And those beasts turn to stare at you. And you can tell that they are not friendly, not used to liking people in their presence. And we will pick up from there next time on Escape the Dungeon. Boom, boom. Thank you for listening to Escape the Dungeon. Escape the Dungeon is created by Dom Brass, Nate Brass, Zach Brass, and Mike Cripps, with editing and original music by Tyler Nate. If you enjoyed this show, please consider subscribing and leaving a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. To find us on social media, go to escapethedungeonpod.com.